This week we visit Propel Schools, our biggest charter school partner in Pittsburgh. Propel Montour High School is a beautiful and artistic school and one of the network's 13 Allegheny County-based schools. Educator Nicole Goins was kind enough to invite us to her classroom to talk about how our supplies are impacting her students, or scholars as they're referred to by staff at Propel Schools.
My name is Nicole Elizabeth Goins. I am a special educator at Propel Montour High School. I'm not really sure how far back the partnership with the education partnership goes, but when I started with Propel Montour Elementary School, when it was a K-8 building down the street, that was the 16-17 school year, so just about 7-8 years. They were already a part of it. I was a building substitute. And when the invitation came for the teachers to go shopping, I was allowed to join, and I've gone each year since. I think it's an excellent resource. Not only do they offer basic supplies for a classroom, there's always something interesting and helpful in some creative way. I have seen novels, I have seen furniture, I have seen desktop furniture that you'll see here on my desk. I have seen monitors, printers, clothes, so many different surprises that have been collected and offered to teachers to help in some way. I was even, school year before last, they were working on the STEM initiative and gave out sewing machines. And the sewing machine is currently at home, and I'm teaching myself how to use it. It's been a long time since I sewed, so I'm looking for opportunities to do something with that in the classroom. Over the years, I have been able to kind of stockpile. As a substitute, you're never really knowing which classroom you're going to be in on any given day, so having a strong toolkit. I kept a lot of things in my trunk, so based on the need that day. And as I was able to facilitate positions where I was kind of moved into a room, I always brought that stockpile. And so as I moved about rooms where I saw a need for pencils, erasers, highlighters, whatever the need was, I had a stockpile to go and help that teacher with. To this day, that still happens, allowing me to be a resource within the building for other classroom teachers. And then when I was needing to set up this room, I had material to do so. Probably the best example of what I've used would be the spiral notebooks. I passed out for this English Language Arts class. Every 9th grade scholar got a spiral notebook that I got from TEP, but then also the furniture. File sorters. I have 2 file sorters in my closet there. There's one here. There's one here. This riser from my monitor. It allows you to set up. It's almost if they envisioned what teachers would need and they went out and looked for those things. I think recovering from the pandemic, even though it's been a little bit, we're still seeing social and emotional behaviors, learned helplessness, and also learned helplessness is when the student doesn't believe that they can do better. We're putting in front of them as a district grade level materials, and so a hurdle is bridging the gap between where they're ready to be and where they need to be, and sometimes it's a partnership and a little bit of a tug and pull. So that's a hurdle right there, but it's something that we're all working very hard, increasing the rigor rate, keeping high expectations, and keeping our foot in the game. I think the students know that they can come to me, that I'll have what they need. We have, EPIC is our mantra, if you will, and it stands for effort, preparedness, integrity, and compassion. And in the elementary school, they are houses. There's the effort house, the prepared house, integrity house, compassion house. And I was always in the prepared house. And it was almost divine because I tried my best. I lived my life that way. And the students can tell you, I have probably everything that they need. I was able to use some of the resources that I've collected over the years to set up the girls' bathroom next door, and I'm going to do the boys' bathroom probably by the end of the next week. Just little things that you need that you don't necessarily know you need right in the moment, but I don't want to call myself a hoarder, but I do like to stockpile for the possibility that there's something that we need. Yeah. I think so, because, you know, if you can't ask a scholar to write if they don't have a writing utensil. You can't ask them to write if they don't have something to write on. There's a lot put into the creative arts in our district, and supplies are needed for that, and you don't always have it, the resources through the school budget. So you might see me bring in, for example, the art teacher is looking for art supplies right now. I have art supplies in my closet, not my closet, but my garage, that I've collected over the years: colored pencils and markers, glue, glue sticks, scissors. I'm digging it out of the garage this weekend, and I'm bringing it in for her. So it has not an academic direct impact, but it has it in the fact that scholars will need something at some point. And when teachers are talking to one another, you can find out, oh, well, I have this, and let me bring that in. I believe the reason we refer to our students as scholars is that we have in mind where we want them to go, post-secondary goals. We want them to be a scholar. We want them to go to college. We want them to have a career in mind, and whether it be an associate degree in a certification in a trade, or a four-year university that takes them on to even another advanced degree or right into the workplace. We want to speak into existence what we want for them, and that is to be scholarly. I think the generation that's in the classroom right now are being raised by young people themselves, and they may or may not have had the opportunities that my generation had and that these kids have. The scholars that are in front of us now have been raised in a technology age. And so they're seeing, and they have access to more information that generations before that didn't. And so I think that a barrier at home might be that they may not have a parent at home or an aunt or uncle at home that knows success in the classroom to enforce, impart, and expect it from them. And the pandemic has not only hurt us in the classroom, it's hurt us at home as well, whether it be because you might have lost a job or had to switch jobs. You may not have as much food income or resource. You may not have the clothes that you might have had. All of those things play into the social and emotional scholar that comes into the classroom. They bring all that baggage with them. And so we as teachers need to be able to build relationships with these scholars so we can see when they're off, see when they need something. And those relationships will help them to be open enough to ask for help. It wasn't tough for me personally. My husband ended up changing his position so that he could be home with my kids, as I kept my scholars at home. I have 2 teenagers. I kept them home for their learning. And the only reason they went back was because their teachers called and begged me to send them back. They weren't as engaged, just like our scholars weren't as engaged at home. So while we were in the beginning, that first school year we came back, while teachers were in the building, scholars were online. While it was productive for me, we were able to manipulate and be more creative as far as our instruction. The kids suffered. The scholars suffered because they didn't have that one-on-one in-person connection. But I am a pretty computer savvy person, so I didn't personally suffer from that, but I do believe that it is much better that all scholars are in building, and we need to do what we can to be safe so that we can stay in building. Yeah. I think that it relieves a burden on them because they don't need to worry about what I need my pencils, or I need my book, or not my book, but maybe even my notebook, or scholars know when they come to Propel that what they need is in the classroom already. Absolutely, absolutely. I think that the more resources you have available, your brain automatically looks for ways to use it. And I think that the partnership with the education partnership and Propel allows us to do so. We can go and shop and get what we need, the basics that we need, but utilize the resources that are there, the extra stuff. You know what I mean? Build a school library. You know, there's always books and novels there. There's clothing. There's all kinds of different things. And the one thing I should have mentioned before was hand sanitizer. Oh my gosh, I have supplied this building with hand sanitizer. I've supplied my family with hand sanitizer for 3 years. There has been hand sanitizer, school years, available. The Clorox one, this Clorox wipe, the Purex wipes, so helpful keeping our rooms and ourselves clean. So thank you. Thank you.
We hope all of the scholars at Propel have a great school year and let us know what school we should visit next.